Good morning, my little nerds. I am Dr. Shereene Idriss, a cosmetic dermatologist based in New York City, and welcome to my YouTube channel where every Saturday morning we cover a different topic of choice, whether it is skincare ingredient related, a skincare trend that is going viral on TikTok or Instagram, or basically a skin condition that you have that you're looking to help yourself with. Plus some in-office procedures every once in a while because after all, I'm a cosmetic derm and that is my bread and butter and that is what I practice. If you haven't subscribed, liked, or commented below, please feel free to subscribe and like to this channel and then comment afterwards while watching the video or after watching the video, or if you think of a new topic that you want me to cover. Today, my friends, I thought why not go and revisit a topic that we have beaten like a dead horse in the past, but one that I think actually needs further exploration, and that is vitamin C, because we clearly cannot get enough of it as consumers and they are everywhere. But before we jump in, I did a video on this over a year ago where I actually broke it down, if I do say so myself, pretty clearly and succinctly. But I was missing two key vitamin C derivatives, and those were Tetrahexyldecyl Ascorbate and 3,0-ethyl ascorbic acid. And you guys were the ones who brought it to my attention, and hence why we're going to cover that today. So vitamin C, let's take a step back, is the basis of a skincare routine in the sense that it can be used not only in the morning but also at night, and that is a misconception that it can only be used one time during the day. It is a potent antioxidant and it really delivers 3.5 main benefits. So starting with its antioxidant properties, because that can sound like whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. I could have just said that and you guys would have been like, okay. Antioxidants are important to have in our routine because they help to basically distract our enemies and actually make our enemies fall in love with them. And those are free radical or reactive oxygen species. And those reactive oxygen species or free radicals can wreak havoc on our skin. They break up our skin, they allow us to age prematurely, they give us a ruddy looking appearance, and they just want to basically destroy everything in its path. What causes free radicals? The sun. And I'm not sun mongering, but it's the truth. Smoking, pollution, stress, you name it. All of those types of, joie de vivre can actually cause free radicals to be formed. And reactive oxygen species are a byproduct of that go and break up your skin cells and cause you to age faster. Now, antioxidants, don't fight them with anger and violence. They kill them with kindness, and they are basically super attractors to these reactive oxygen species and basically suck up all their attention. So all they want to do is then basically make love forever until they finally disappear. So that is what an antioxidant kind of does in a very, very basic nutshell. And vitamin C is one of the super antioxidants that we have in our arsenal, but they're not all created equal. And we will get into that in a second. Number two, and this is still part of the photoprotective benefit of vitamin C, it really does help to boost your SPF. It is not a replacement by any way, shape, or form of sunscreen. Vitamin C is never going to give you the protective benefits that sunscreen can offer you, but it can definitely boost it. It's your sidekick. It's the Robin to the Batman. It's the jelly to the peanut butter. It is just the of sunscreen, because what does it do? It basically increases the amount of time it takes for your skin to turn red underneath the sun when used in conjunction with sunscreen especially. So if sunscreen, let's say, is SPF 30 and it takes you 30 times the amount of time you usually take to burn, right, by using SPF 30, adding vitamin C is going to even increase that time to longer. So you're really giving your boost to your sunscreen, allowing it to work better for you. And so those are the two main photoprotective benefits of vitamin C. Number three, or really two, or the half, or whatever you guys want to go by, I'm so bad at keeping track, is it boosts collagen production. And there are very few things that we know actually boost collagen production. And glycolic acid is one of them. That's why j'adore. Retinols are one of them. And vitamin C is one of them. So if you can incorporate something that is not only physically protecting you from damage that is about to happen, but is also in the back trying to help collagen be produced, it's a win-win for everyone. And that's why you can also use vitamin C at night. So that is why I'm a proponent of using it actually twice a day, but it is a collagen booster. And number 3, the biggest benefit, in my opinion, because you can never be too bright in life, is it helps to brighten your skin tone. It helps to even out your skin tone, and it helps to minimize the appearance of discoloration that comes in the form of pigmentation, whether that is post-acne marks, whether it is post a rash or inflammatory, or if it is something such as sunspots or even melasma. So it's a great adjunct to have in your skincare routine to help minimize and keep that discoloration at bay. Now for the sponsored portion of this video, thank you Pique so much for working with me to put together the Pique by Pillow Talk Derm bundle of 3 of my favorite Pique products, including number 1, their green tea sun goddess matcha. I absolutely love this guy because they are all individually wrapped. There is very little wastage, and I have this in my office. Not only has this product helped me quit coffee, which has killed my GI system, but the green tea is the first of its kind to be quadruple screened for number 1, pesticides, heavy metals, toxin, mold, and radioactive isotopes. So you can rest assured that you're getting the right stuff. Now, number 2, I really do like their ginger digestion elixir because I do have IBS. So I have been mixing this now in the summer months with cold water, whereas in the winter I was using warm water, and it is très délicieux. And number 3, we have our Daily Radiance Vitamin C, which is maximized for absorption to get to where it needs to get and to give you healthy skin from the inside out. Now, is this going to be your end all be all for healthy skin? Most likely not. You're still going to need to wear sunscreen and apply it topically. But can this help boost your immune system? Absolutely, because it's made with 1900 milligrams of juice concentrate from the elderberry plant. And so I absolutely love this. Personally, I mix it with cold water and it gives me a beautiful midday cocktail, and I feel like I've been swept away. Have a great day. So now that you know what the main benefits of vitamin C are, let's look for it in our products. How do you know if something actually contains vitamin C? Because a lot of products on the market claim to contain vitamin C, but then you don't necessarily see ascorbic acid on the ingredient list. And that, by the way, is a pet peeve of mine. You can't claim to have vitamin C if it is a derivative of vitamin C, like a vitamin C ester. I would rather the brand says we have a vitamin C ester than, for example, claim like this one, which I'm going to talk about in a second, Allies of Skin 35% vitamin C perfecting serum, because this contains 2 derivatives and not actually L-ascorbic acid. So when you think of vitamin C's, you have the active form and the inactive forms of vitamin C. The active form of vitamin C is L-ascorbic acid. It's the one that you put on and it gets to work right away. But you might ask me, why should we all just use that if we have that? Why do we need the inactive form? Because we're not all created equal. And the active form of vitamin C is actually very difficult to formulate. It is unstable AF. So chemists have a very hard time to actually formulate it well. It cannot be in a water-based product because it wouldn't actually be stable enough to sustain a long shelf life. And it's very sensitive. It's a sensitive little being. It's sensitive to air, oxygen, it's sensitive to light. So to this day, I do not know why they put vitamin C, L-ascorbic acid in glass jars. No idea. It is sensitive to certain metals. It is sensitive as well to temperature, so super high temperatures. That's why you have to make sure that they do a lot of testing to make sure that the vitamin C stays stable. And it is sensitive to, those are all it, high temperature, pH, metal, oxygen, exposed light, and air. And so it's not necessarily for everyone. Plus, when you're formulating it, it has to be formulated at a lower pH, which can be very irritating for some. So when looking at the concentration of L-ascorbic acid that you want ideally in a product, it's anywhere from 8 to 20%. And if you are a beginner, you might even want to start around the 5% range and work your way up. But a lot of people cannot tolerate it past 10%. And after 20%, the benefits actually plateau and decline, and all you're paying for is actually nothing. And so you're wasting your money at that point. And so more is not necessarily more in the case of L-ascorbic acid. The one advice I have for vitamin C is purchase it in small quantities. Don't try to hoard this stuff, and use it, finish it, then buy the next one. It should be clear when you buy it, like a very faint yellow that turns slightly yellower over time. Once it turns into an orangey brown color, it's completely oxidized and useless, and you just should throw it out. Certain brands that may or may not have been called drug something in the past used to put a tint in their vitamin C serum to mask that oxidative process. It was tricky, it was misleading. They've reformulated ever since, and I don't think the one currently on the market has that. But a lot of other brands still think they're smarter than the consumers, and they have not evolved with the times. And they still use that trick of putting turmeric in active vitamin C in order to mask the oxidation process, so that you think it's better longer, but in fact, it's not. So that's just something to look out for. Also have our inactive forms of vitamin C, and I'm not going to get into all of these because I did a whole video about them, so make sure to check the link below. And if you see that a product has a vitamin C claim and you don't see ascorbic acid, look for anything with Ascorb, ascorb, because that is going to be sort of one of the derivatives of vitamin C. So now, touching on the two derivatives that you guys have been asking me about and why I made this video. So starting with Tetrahexyldecyl Ascorbate, this is probably one of my favorite forms of vitamin C because it can be used by a multitude of different types of skin types. It is actually oil soluble, unlike ascorbic acid, which is water soluble, and it can be formulated at a pH of around 5. So it's not too acidic, and many different skin types can tolerate it. And it's a pleasure to work with a lot of cosmetic chemists. At least that is what my own personal chemist has been telling me over the past year and a half. But the reason I particularly love it is because it offers the benefits, the three main benefits of active vitamin C. It is a skin brightener, it is also a collagen booster, and it has the photoprotective antioxidant properties of pure vitamin C. The issue with it is obviously more studies are still needed. And in vivo, and I'm going to read what I wrote out over here, there was a study that examined the anti-aging properties of a silicone formula containing 10% pure vitamin C ascorbic acid versus 7% of tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate. And the authors in that study theorized that the ascorbic acid, because it is water soluble, only sat on the top part of the skin, never going any deeper. But tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, because it is oil soluble, had a deeper affinity for the deeper parts of your skin. So it also was stronger at promoting collagen production. In that study, it was small. There were only 10 patients, but it was a double-blind experiment, and the formula did show measurable anti-aging results. However, it was hard to know how much of it was due to the pure vitamin C or to the tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, but that is what they theorized. So it does have a lot of potential benefits. It is, like I said, fat soluble, and because of its fatty component, it works better on your skin versus something that is just water soluble that's probably going to get repelled. So your skin is going to like it and want to attract it. It works in as low as 0.1%. So again, more is not necessarily better. And the beauty of this one is like at around 2%, it maintains a healthy skin balance without overly irritating or triggering your skin into overdrive. But the most fascinating thing about tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate is that when used in conjunction with ingredients such as kojic acid or licorice root or even niacinamide, it works beautifully, even for patients with melasma. So if you don't want to go on hydroquinone, I would strongly suggest you incorporate tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate into your skincare routine, marrying it with other ingredients such as niacinamide, licorice root, and even kojic acid. It's a beauty. I have one which I showed you guys, and this one retails for 115 bucks or so. It's Allies of Skin. There are several things that bother me about this before I get into the positives. Number one, it's marketed as a 35% vitamin C when it's not. It's actually a complex. There is no 35% of anything. They actually have 10% of tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate and 25% of ethylated L-ascorbic acid. Now, the reason this is very expensive is because THD is very expensive. So I have to question 10%, because 10%, is it really necessary when we know at 2% your skin is getting the benefits? So that is a question that I have. But if you are looking for a product with THD, this is a very nice one. I will show you guys the actual, it's very lightweight. As you can see, it is practically clear. It has a yellow kind of finish, and it does have an oilier base. And so if you are very, very oily, then you might not necessarily love the base of this. Other positives, it comes in an opaque jar and it's a pump. So they definitely won with that. So if you guys want to gift somebody something with vitamin C that probably has a lot of merit, but might be overkill, it's the one by Allies of Skin. And second, we have Sunday Riley. It also comes in a pump, which I love. At least it's not exposed to oxygen constantly. The glass tube is semi-opaque. It's not 100% opaque. I think they could have done a little bit better, but this is a 15% THD. And so it's one that patients love and people love. It does have more of an opaque finish. It also has a little bit of an oilier residue to it, but it is super fast absorbing and it has a slight citrusy scent. Just in case that is something that may offend you, I figured better that you know now. But I think the Sunday Riley CEO is definitely has definitely developed a cult following, and a lot of people absolutely adore it. So now moving on to the 3-O ethyl ascorbic acid. While it is a stable form of pure vitamin C, it still needs to be converted into its active form once applied to your skin. It's a good one if you love ascorbic acid, but your skin just doesn't love it. And so if you can't tolerate any form of pure vitamin C over 10%, I would strongly encourage you to try looking at the 3-O ethylated version of vitamin C, because this one is much slower to be released onto your skin. And so the conversion rate is slower, which will work better for you. It is apparently as effective as vitamin C. I think more studies are going to be needed on that one, so don't necessarily quote me on that, but it can be used from anywhere from 0.5 to 5%. Again, more is not more, and that is very, very important, because like for example with Allies of Skin, you see here that they are touting 25% ethylated L-ascorbic acid, when really all you need is anywhere from 0.5 to 5%. The other interesting fact about this particular one is that it is ideally formulated at a pH of around 4 to 5.5, whereas ascorbic acid is ideally formulated around a pH of 3.5, which can be very irritating for most. So again, it's good if you might have sensitive skin. And a few products that I like on the market that currently have them that I found interesting were the Summer Fridays CC Me Serum. And this is one by obviously Summer Fridays, opaque. I like it even though it's more stable. They went the extra mile. I love that it comes in a pump. I think people are finally listening. This one retails for $66 and it's mixed with niacinamide inside. So just so that you guys are aware, so that you don't waste your time going to buy another niacinamide product, it is a more watery component, and I would say that this feels more watery compared to oily when compared to the CEO one by Sunday Riley or the one by Allies of Skin. It has a very slight scent to it that doesn't actually bother me, and it is a beautifully formulated product to be, if I'm being very, very honest. And then we have the gang at Glow Recipe have come up with their Guava Vitamin C Dark Spot Serum, which comes in this beautiful package. Again, it's opaque, it is a pump. We are completely winning today, but this one, and I will show you guys, has a slightly pink tone to it. It smells like candy and you want to eat it. And this particular product is actually a combination of 5 different vitamin C's, including the Tetrahexyldecyl Ascorbate, the 3-O ethylated form of vitamin C, as well as sodium ascorbyl phosphate, magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, and ascorbyl glucoside. So they basically put all of the inactive forms of vitamin C in one product with niacinamide and vitamin E, as well as ferulic acid, in order to maintain its stability and hopefully offer some more antioxidant properties. Interesting product. If this is really, I think, if you want a little bit of everything in one. So that is by Glow Recipe. I hope you guys have found this video helpful. I hope now you have a better understanding of the 2 other forms of vitamin C. If you want to go back and get a bigger deep dive, I would suggest watching the video below, as I want in the name of time, I didn't want to like overwhelm you with more information, but you can watch my old video on vitamin C. And yeah, let me know any questions, comments you have below, and what you want to learn about next. I'm Dr. Shereene Idriss, and have a great Saturday.